If only I can lose weight, I'll be happy with my body. This is so often what I hear from clients when they start working with me. The problem is, if you hate your body now and see weight loss as the only solution, you probably know from experience that this doesn't work. You either struggle to ever reach the weight you want, or you get to the weight you want and live with constant fear that you're going to regain the weight, which prevents you ever being able to enjoy the happiness that you were looking for in the first place. I want to give you hope. It is possible to stop hating your body without losing weight. I've worked with many clients to help them make friends with their bodies and perhaps most importantly, with themselves. I'm going to share 4 tips to get you started and help you stop hating your body regardless of what you weigh. I'm Dr. Paula Watson and I'm a psychologist specializing in weight, eating and exercise behaviors. On my YouTube channel, I share some of the things that have been most helpful for my therapy clients, including practical tips for putting into action yourself at home. It's really common for both women and men in Western societies to be dissatisfied with our bodies. A survey conducted by the Mental Health Foundation in 2019 showed 1 in 3 adults has felt anxious or depressed because of body image concerns. If you struggle with a negative body image, I suspect anything about body positivity and loving your body feels so alien that it makes you switch off immediately. It can be more helpful instead to think of body image on a continuum. So on the left, you have body hatred, and on the right, you have body positivity. But if you're at the extreme of hating everything about your body, it's not realistic to think you're going to wake up one day suddenly bursting with body love and gratitude. Instead, it can be helpful to aspire initially for body neutrality, where you stop hating your body, but you don't have any real positive feelings towards it either. Then perhaps over time you might work towards body acceptance, where you accept your body for what it is, appreciate there's some parts that you like, but acknowledge there'll always be imperfections, and this is okay. I'm going to talk through 4 steps you can take to stop hating your body without losing weight and start moving towards body neutrality. These steps are based on undoing the things that often keep us trapped in hating our bodies, because when these are no longer there, you'll naturally find your relationship with your body changes. These 4 steps will be most effective if you take the time to do the practical exercises in this video. So what I'd suggest is watching the full video first to get a feel for the information. Then put aside some time and space to re-watch the video, this time with somewhere to take notes so you can pause it and complete the exercises as you go. The first step is to reduce the amount of headspace you give to your body. When you hate your body, it can take over your life. It's the first thing you think about when you wake up, it's what you consider with every decision you make in the day, and it's the last thing you think about before you go to sleep. One of the reasons this happens is you're letting your weight and shape determine how you feel about yourself as a person. This may be because something's happened in your life that's brought your body to the forefront. This could be anything from a seemingly innocuous comment from a family member when you're a teenager, to following body-obsessed individuals on social media, to growing up with a mum who's obsessed with dieting. Or perhaps you've experienced body-related trauma, such as fertility treatment, injury, or illness. All these things can lead us to develop a belief that if I look a certain way, I'll be okay. And if I don't look that way, I won't. This pie chart shows the effect this has. In a healthy individual, the way we see ourselves is influenced by our experiences across a number of areas of our lives. So how well we're doing in our studies or career, how good we are as a friend, how good we are as a daughter, a son, parent or sibling we are. It's normal to pay a little attention to our weight and shape, but this will be a small slice of the pie. along with all the other things that are important to us in life. If you struggle with your body image, your weight and shape may fill a larger chunk of this pie. So it might be over half or up to 75%. You become hyper-focused on what you look like, which usually reflects in behaviors such as frequently checking your body. This might be weighing yourself, pinching fat, looking at yourself in shop windows or mirrors, frequently comparing your body with others. So on social media, in photos, or with friends. Or the comparison might be with yourself and how you used to look. So looking back at old photos or old weight records. All these things mean that we're subjecting ourselves constantly to a barrage of negative feedback and an inner critic. The most powerful way to stop this hyper-focus on our bodies is to stop checking and stop comparing ourselves with others or with how we used to look. Try this out for yourself. Firstly, think about what you do to check your body on a daily basis. Do you weigh yourself? Do you look at certain parts in the mirror? Or perhaps pinch fat in certain areas? Then think about what you frequently do to compare your body with others or how you used to be. Does this happen when you're scrolling social media? Or do you have checking routines with mirrors in your house? Now try and refrain from doing all these checking and comparing behaviors for at least 3 continuous days. This may be difficult at first because it's likely these behaviors are semi-automatic. So if you notice yourself going to step on the scales habitually or checking the mirror or scrolling through photos on your phone or Instagram, gently stop yourself. If you notice an anxiety coming up about not being able to check or compare, just let this be there without trying to fight it. And on each of the days you go without checking and comparing, write down how you feel at the end of the day. What do you notice happens to the noise in your head and the negative voices about your body? Have they got quieter? You'll soon see stopping these checking and comparison behaviors reduces the noise in your head. But it's important to remember this may take some time because of how ingrained these behaviors are. So don't worry if the temptation keeps popping up for a while. Notice it, but ignore it. Let it float past like a cloud. And if you keep persevering, gradually your brain will catch on that checking and comparing aren't things you need in your life anymore. And if you find you're getting on the scale several times a day and this is something you're struggling to stop, I'd recommend moving to once a week and paying attention only to the 4-week averages. I've made another video about this where I explain this process, how to do it and how it will help. So check this out if this is something that might be helpful for you. One last note before we move on to the second point. Stopping checking and comparing your body doesn't mean avoiding looking at your body entirely. This can also lead us to become hyper-focused on our bodies because we're constantly living in fear of what we might see or of how our bodies might affect our interactions with others. If avoidance is something that's a problem for you, try and gently move towards opportunities where you might previously have held back because you felt self-conscious, or perhaps where you might have avoided looking in the mirror or having your photo taken. And when you do catch yourself in the mirror, lean in and look at yourself with kindness. What positive qualities do you see in the person looking back at you? The second step to stop hating your body is to increase the amount of headspace you give to other things. So increasing the proportion of the pie chart for other things will naturally squeeze out the amount of space that's left to think about your body. Start by writing down things that are important for how you want to be in life, not how you want to look. So examples might be being good at your job, being a good friend, being a good partner or a good uncle, being a kind person, or being good at your favourite sport or craft. Then for each point, write an example of when you've done this well. Being good at your job is important. When did you last do something that you were proud of in work? If you find it difficult to find other things to fill your pie chart, perhaps it's time to think about trying something new. Is there a hobby you've always fancied, or perhaps something you used to enjoy doing as a child but you've never got back to? Could you learn a language or a musical instrument? Do some local volunteering or try and connect with old friends more often? What could you put into your days that would help you to feel worthwhile? The third step to stop hating your body is to focus on what your body can do, not what it looks like. We can become so obsessed with how our bodies look that we lose touch with what's actually going on under the surface. But the reality is our bodies are wonderful machines. Think about how much I'm using my body right now. I need my body to think and process the words I'm saying, to look at the camera, to say the words out loud. You're using your body to listen to the words or read them on the screen, to understand what I'm saying and think about how they relate to you. You might even be doing some exercise or using your body in another way while you listen to this. Write a list of everything your body can do that helps you live a valued and a meaningful life. This might be hugging your children, being able to play a sport, or reading to improve your knowledge. The next time you're doing anything physically active, think about how the muscles, the bones, and your heart and lungs are working together to take in oxygen, to pump blood around your body, to keep you moving. And if you're in the gym, observe how your muscles contract and relax when you do different movements. The final and most important step in stopping hating your body is to start liking yourself underneath. The biggest thing keeping body hatred going isn't actually hating our body, but it's not liking ourselves. Once you trust you are okay as you are, just being you, there is no longer a need to strive to be something different. When a client comes to see me for weight loss therapy, the foundation of the work I do is about helping them to learn to love themselves. It's this self-compassion that then frees them up to actually lose weight in a healthy way, rather than the other way around. Start now by writing down at least 3 things your friends and family value about you, regardless of what your body looks like. Think about why people enjoy being with you, how they might describe you to others, what your strengths are and what you're good at. If you've been down on yourself for a long time, it's unrealistic to pretend your relationship with your body is going to change overnight. But it is possible for this to change over time. Perseverance is the real key here. So if you start putting these steps into place now and stick with them, you'll soon start to notice changes in how you feel and how you relate to yourself. Once you've done the exercises in the video, you can keep working on these steps with a daily journal that includes 2 prompts. What have I achieved today that helps me move towards the person I want to be? This might be doing something kind for a neighbour, it might be booking in to start your piano lessons, or refraining from checking and comparing yourself with others. And what has my body helped me do today that I am grateful for? Keep talking positively to yourself in this way, and over time, it will start to feel more natural, and you'll start to recognize your strengths and the value you bring to others. And remember, if you struggle to do this alone, there's never any shame in seeking support. Subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, or if you feel ready to work with me, drop me an email and we can book in a free discovery chat. Thank you for staying through to the end. I'd love to know if you found this video helpful, and please comment below and let me know, what one thing are you going to take away to help you stop hating your body?